reserving certain jobs for locals. This has become a reality in some countries, even within the SADC region. Botswana government says foreign nationals employed in sectors like wholesale, retail and even filling stations are violating the country's regulations, and these sectors are strictly reserved for citizens. In the neighboring Zimbabwe, there are plans as well to keep certain sectors in the hands of the locals. This is not a new phenomenon. The governing party, ZANU-PF, has been pushing for the indigenization of the economy.
We continue to engage the authorities to ensure that there is compliance in conforming to those sectors which have been reserved for locals, and that those foreigners who are already participating in those reserved sectors should come up with a clearly enunciated program of working with locals.
But Zimbabwe Chamber of Commerce says it's key to have clarity on these plans.
These whole adjustments have not yet been promulgated into law. It's still part of the party's manifesto, ZANU-PF's manifesto. But certainly we don't think there's anything amiss about the move to adjust the indigenization policy itself. What could be more worrisome possibly is to take action without agreeing, without having a blueprint.
A debate is also raging in South Africa about certain jobs reserved for the locals. However, these experts warn that these plans must not stifle the implementation of the continental free trade area that is meant to open up intra-Africa trade.
Locals are crying foul that the small business ground is taken by the foreign nationals, and therefore there must be a sort of a Zimbabwean policy, a sort of a Botswana policy which seeks to protect the local people from unfair trade, from the immigrants or the business people coming from the surrounding areas. Yeah, it's a good idea, but it must be practiced. It must be practiced, or it must be implemented, or it must be formulated in a cautious way.
The debate has gained traction in South Africa, and now it's up to the policymakers to decide, but it remains a very sensitive issue since the country itself is transforming its own economy. Khayelihle Khumalo, SABC News, Johannesburg.